Part 6 of breaking down the AP article 7 Years of Sex Abuse and How Mormon Officials Let It Happen. This is going to be a shorter one, just a small aside. I want to talk about this quote just because it's something that I have seen come up in my research with childhood sexual abuse victims from the Mormon Church. They just let it keep happening, said MJ. MJ is the girl who was raped. They just said, hey, let's excommunicate her father. It didn't stop. Let's have them do therapy. It didn't stop. Hey, let's forgive and forget, and all this will go away. It didn't go away. These statements are not unique to this case. These are the things that I hear over and over and over from survivors, that this is what the church said. This is how they handled it, especially the forgive and forget. Let's forgive and forget. Forgive and forget. They've repented. Just move on. There's this total lack of awareness that to heal trauma, you have to do literally the opposite of forgive and forget. You have to remember it, you have to feel it, you have to talk about it, you have to hold people accountable. Forgiving people cannot be antithetical to holding people accountable. And unfortunately, the way the LDS Church practices it, in actual practicality, is a lot of times victims are told, you should just forgive him. Or in a lot of the cases I hear, we really don't want to make too big of a deal out of this because it could keep him from going on a mission. Or we really don't want to make too big of a deal out of this because it could keep him from getting into BYU. So you should just work towards forgiving him. I call it weaponized forgiveness. And I've seen it all over my data, and it just keeps popping up. So sounds like she experienced some weaponized forgiveness. I think it's pervasive. I think so many survivors probably read this and thought, me too. Me too. That's what they told me. Forgive and forget. And I just want to say, as a therapist, that's not how you heal from sexual trauma. So just throw that out the window. Incorrect. But they say it when we put on our critical thinking hats. They say it because forgive and forget lets them off the hook. It means nobody has to be held accountable. It doesn't have to get messy. You don't have to get police or lawyers involved. Forgive and forget is something we use to silence victims.